Truth Minister Paul Scott with the No Warning Shots Fired News Weekend Edition. Today we're going to talk about a new song that just came out, I guess, by them Franchize Boyz and Lil Wayne called Whippin, or like it's formerly known, Whip It Like a Slave, because that's a chorus, whip it like a slave, whip it like a slave. Now, the title alone is kind of problematic, but before you go blaming the rappers, let's put this in the proper context. It brings, when a black man or black men can make a song called Whip It Like a Slave, it brings out two fundamental problems. First problem is the miseducation when our young people aren't taught black history. Now, they're taught a lot in school, but one of the things that happened since integration is that we have not been taught black history, because basically a lot of times when we talk about black history, white folks don't want to hear black people talking about that black stuff, and they'll say, especially you right-wing conservatives, oh, you're always whining. Why you always whining about your problems? When in actuality, we're just talking about our history, and when our young people don't understand their history, they make songs like Whip It Like a Slave. They have not been exposed because people are afraid to be called racist. Books like Before the Mayflower by Lerone Bennett. Books like Africa and History by Basil Davidson. Books like that would give our young people an idea of the atrocity and the horrors of the transatlantic slave trade. And not only that, the various colonial examples of colonization of Africa, mentioning the Congo and all over Africa. But when you have not been taught your history, you make songs like Whip It Like a Slave, like it ain't no thing. So that's problematic in and of itself. So what we have to demand from not only the school systems but the community at large is to teach our young people about black and African history, because they haven't been taught that. And if we don't teach them, who else will? We can't depend on the school system to teach them about black history. Black people have to teach black history. Secondly, is if you look at hip-hop and the whole hip-hop industry, you would think that these multi-millionaire black men who are walking around with the tattoos and the gold teeth, that they are actually in charge of black music. See, this is what people don't talk about. Who actually runs the recording industry, who actually runs the industry, the hip-hop industry? It's old white men sitting around in business suits making marketing decisions about what's going on and what's hip. We haven't controlled hip-hop in over 20 years, so we must be very clear about that. We have to study books like this, Hitmen by Frederick Danon, that talk about the founding of the record industry, because those people who founded the record industry are still in the decision makers now, or their heirs for a large portion of that. They would never allow any other race or ethnic group suffering to be put out like Whip It Like a Slave. So we have to be very clear on that. So when it comes to changing hip-hop, we first must understand the lack of history, knowledge of black history or African history among the rappers. And secondly, we must pinpoint and be very clear the names and who are those white men who actually control hip-hop. Because once upon a time, hip-hop was something that could uplift people, but the powers that be found out it was a threat to their stability, a threat to the status quo, so they gave us this junk and try to pretend it's what black people want. So we have today the state of hip-hop with songs like Beat It Like a Slave. And unfortunately, the beat of the world goes on, and we're still dancing to our own destruction. Truth Minister Paul Scott, NoWarningShotsFired.com.